All right, guys, I got a good one for you today. Saw this headline. I had to make a video and share it. It says that seniors are struggling. Retirement uncertainty is a key factor. Well, no kidding. You think that in an economy like we got going on and all the things that are happening, that the retirees would be, just fine and not be unsettled a little bit by what's going on? So let's talk about some of the facts because I did some digging to figure out what's up. So, just a few things to start with. Of course, let's talk about the rising costs and expenses that everybody's encountering, but it hits retirees different because the retirees are on fixed incomes, right? So, healthcare is up, right? 8%, and medicines are up 4% for the year so far. Even the Affordable Care Act plans are going to go up 7% this year, right? So even if you're on your own, it's going to go up. The overall, sorry, I had some noise. The overall cost of living is up 2.5% to 3% year over year and month over month, which means, right, inflation's not going anywhere, folks. It's going to keep going up, and they never cut costs. Once they get you used to spending more money, they just keep right on racking it up even higher. Now, you may see the cost of eggs and oil and gas and electricity, some of those things come down, yes, because the market is part of the determining factor. But when you're talking about all goods in general, you're going to be on there. Once the prices are up, they stay up. Kellogg's is not going to come through and go, wow, hey, inflation's back down to 2%. We're going to cut costs by 3% or 5% over the cost of the cereal. It's not going to happen. All right, the next factor, interest rates are here to stay. There is no talk, or I should say all the talk from the Fed is that the interest rates reductions are not going to happen this year. They're expecting them to stay the same at current levels through 2025 and see what happens after that. Regardless of what happens with the economy, I really don't expect that that's going to change anytime soon. Okay, some of the other things that are going up. Property taxes, of course, they're going to go up. Why? Because the market is still inflated. Despite the reports that Florida and some of these other, I say Florida because that one comes up in my feed a lot because I do pay attention to the Florida market more. But just because you hear that these areas are crashing does not mean that prices are coming down. And if they don't come down enough, then people won't buy, right? That's pretty much what's going to happen in some of these higher markets. The other side of that, though, is that as long as homes continue to sell at higher prices, property taxes go up whether you like it or not. You're going to get a new appraisal this year, and it's going to go up. Because if something in your neighborhood sold for $50,000 more than your house was valued at last time, the appraisals are going to go up for everybody. So property taxes continue to go up regardless of what happens until a whole area goes down based on sales prices and those things. It's not going to change the overall price to the consumer yet. All right, let's go back to commonly used stuff. Energy costs are up by 7% already for the year. 2%, that's wholesale cost. So right now the reflection is 2% to the average consumer. Gas prices go up and down, and that fluctuates because of oil. But some states are saying that their overall pricing of energy could go up by 10% or more. It just kind of depends what state you're in. So if you're in a state that has higher taxes anyway, on top of, like, Illinois is infamous for being one of the highest tax states in the country, right up there with New York and California. If they charge a lot of gas tax, you'll never see the gas prices come down very much. It's always going to be nickels and dimes, and if you're lucky, but mostly pennies on the gallon is what we're going to see. So those kinds of things continue to drive up costs for everybody. Even the COLA inflation rate that was added for Social Security was only like $44 a month to the average Social Security recipient. And let's be honest, this $44 a month really going to make that much of a difference for you if you're retired and all of your expenses are up this much? I don't think so. I mean, it's a great effort, and I appreciate the fact that they offer that with Social Security. But generally speaking, $44 is exactly what it sounds like, a drop in the bucket compared to your overall costs. The other part of that is that Social Security and Medicare people, the people that are on it feel like they're threatened. Feels like that they're constantly under the threat that it's going to go away, that Elon Musk and Doge and all those people and Trump is going to try to bankrupt the system or take it away because they keep finding all these issues. The fact of the matter is, folks, Social Security's not going anywhere for a while, in my opinion. Of course, it's just my opinion. We all have one. Here's the thing. The fact that they're finding all this fraud just points out to the fact that if they can eliminate the fraud, that would put that money back into the system. When you have 3 to 5 million people receiving benefits that are illegal aliens, they are receiving benefits of some kind because they were issued Social Security numbers and then used those numbers to vote illegally. At least that's the news we have. They were also receiving benefits. Up to 5 million people were that did not owe or did not have benefits coming to them. They're definitely getting Medicare and some kind of medical because they were offering it to them as they came across the borders in all these states. And all these sanctuary states especially are been spending millions and millions and billions of dollars in housing and health care and food stamps and checks and debit cards for people that weren't here legally. Now, I think we can all agree that legal immigration is great. There's plenty of great people that come in that way, and that's the way it should be. Illegal immigration is not great, especially when they get our benefits that they have not put any interest or money into. And most of them, if they get a work card that allows them to work, that's why they have to get a Social Security number so that some taxes are withheld. But they're getting benefits from Social Security without even paying for years and years and years like the rest of us have. All right, off my soapbox. I'm not trying to make this a channel about politics, so I apologize if that sounded that way. I just don't believe everything you hear. Let's get the facts and let's make sure that we know what we're talking about. Okay, on to the markets. Obviously, the markets have tumbled. They're down. The S&P is down 10%. The NASDAQ is down 14.2%. And of course, that is killing portfolios, especially for people that count on portfolios. Those of people that are already retired need those portfolios to continue to do well economically and with interest so that they continue to have money for longer. So I've seen some other folks that talk about retirement that are saying how badly their situations got hit because of the market being down. And it's nice to see it rebounding a little bit. So as of today, it's Wednesday, April 2nd. The market is back up just a little bit. At least it's recovered from the loss from last week or so. But it's still down 8, 9, 10% overall. And that's going to take some time to take care of. But if you're in a position where you can let your money ride, that's what I would do. That's what I'm doing. I'm letting what I have in there ride, and I'm putting all extra that I have into high yield savings so that I have it available. And there's still good rates out there at between 4 and 5%, depending on where you go. And at least you still have access to the money if you need it. Now, along those lines, I talked to a couple of people today at work, some and some others, that mentioned the fact that they were talking about retiring this year or toward the end of the year, but now they're possibly going to postpone because they're going to wait until the markets bounce back, at least get back to where the break-even point was, at least back where we were, if it's possible. Because when you have $1 million in the bank, 10% loss is $100,000. That's a lot of income, right? A lot of money that can be continued to roll over for you. So I know that there's people that are talking about putting it off and postponing, possibly indefinitely. And I know that the people that are currently retired are looking at returning to work part-time. Some of them just to get insurance benefits to help out with some of those healthcare costs. I recently know somebody, a relative, that got a job at Lowe's part-time, and she gets benefits for free, no charge to her. So there's opportunities, and she's at retirement age, so she gets a little bit of Social Security. She has 2 part-time jobs now. One's weekends, one's Monday through Friday. But anyway, do what you have to do to make ends meet, obviously. And hopefully the market rebounds soon and we can all retire like we hope to and plan to. I have a year to let it rebound, at least a year and a couple months probably. So I'm hoping for good things just like the rest of you. So yeah, we're struggling, and people that are already retired are struggling. And it's a reality that this is the situation we're in as a country right now financially. However, it can be overcome, and I think we're going to get there. But we have to keep people from panicking every time the market moves a little bit, because everybody panics and sells or buys, and that's what makes the market so crazy. Like I talked about the other day with Warren Buffett. One of the things he mentioned is, and known for saying, is that, you know, he could get a monkey to pick better than just riding out the S&P, and better than a stockbroker. So you're better off just to let it ride if you have time. If you don't have time to let it work itself out, then you probably need to talk to your financial planner and see if you can move some of that money before you take any more of a hit, if it's going to get better or worse. Nobody knows that for sure, or else we'd all be rich and we wouldn't be talking. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Appreciate every one of you giving me a like and comment. I do try to get back to as many as I can. So it's tough with a full-time job, and I'm not giving that up anytime soon. So anyway, see you next time.